Welcome, my wonderful Legionnaires and my gaming friends. This is a new episode and a new series called What's on Your Workbench Wednesday. Why am I doing that with my hands? I don't know. But you know me, A, Spaz, and B, every single week we have Mech Warrior Mondays, Tanker Tuesdays, Windjammer Wednesdays. This one, what's on your workbench? And I want to know what's on your workbench. Let me know down in the description below. For me, it's this little collection of miniatures, Fineous Fingers. Now, Fineous Fingers was, I believe, a late 70s, early 80s comic strip in Dragon magazine featuring this little guy. This is Fineous himself, and he's like the star of the show. And one of the things that I'm doing is I'm painting all of these characters. I'm going to make a diorama out of them for Luke Gygax himself. And I'm actually making sure that I copy the actual colors from the comic strip, which can actually be a little bit difficult because the comic strip tends to change colors panel to panel. I kid you not. So with Fineous himself, he had this kind of yellow, tannish kind of tunic going on. I haven't quite finished him. Whoa, out of focus. Let's back up a little bit there, Faden. Go on. You can do it, girl. You can do it. Go on. There you go. But this matches the comic strip for him. He's got this lovely little beanie on the top of his head. He's almost finished. Not quite. I've still got the pupils of his eyes to do. I'm trying to do simpler colors, a little bit more comic strip, like but with a touch, of highlights and details here and there. I'm trying to get almost that little bit of texturing that comes from the actual coloring on the paperwork, if that makes any sense at all. So yeah, I think he's coming out pretty good. He's going to be the star of our show on this one. Now, the next up, we have, and I've got kind of up to one side here, the actual sort of comic strip itself. I read it all, but I also wanted to understand what these characters were, what they were called. And this is Grond. This is a bad guy. And I actually like how this came out. I used a silver acrylic on him that had a very high sheen. I washed it in a light black, and then I came over with highlights of the same high silver sheen. And I think it came out looking pretty good overall, and matching the comic strip. Funny thing is, in the comic strips I've read, he never had a mace, so I might be missing something. I might be missing some comic strips, but yeah. Next one up here is actually one of the good guys, and he's a little bit of a character for sure, and he is Murgatroyd the Misguided. Now, Murgatroyd, you can see he's kind of like a little dragon. He's like a baby dragon, and I love this guy. I love how he came up again, following the comic strip colors. Maybe not colors that I would normally pick. Very happy with his eyes. You may not be able to see it, but I've got not only his pupils, but I've actually got a little dot of a highlight of white up in there too. And he came out looking great. In the comic strip, he actually plays chess with Fineous. So in the diorama, I'm going to have him with a chessboard in front of him. And I think that would be kind of fun. I haven't figured out how I'm doing the chessboard yet. That will be something for a future day. Maybe 3D print table, maybe get a little bit of the green stuff out on Billy Put and make some actual, chess pieces or something like that. Next guy up is one of the bad guys, and I think he's named after Tim Kask, because yeah. Now this is a work in progress here. Where's my hold on a minute. I'm missing Tim Kask. Tim Kask, the wizard, is gone. He's not here. Let's go and look to my shelf to the left. Yeah, he's going to be there. You know he's going to be there. Tim Kask was hiding. Come down here, Kasky boy. There he is. All right, Tim Kask. Well, I keep calling it Tim Kask. Was he named after Tim Kask? This is Wizard Kask. And his colors are not what I would normally do, by the way. He's got that kind of like this purplish underrobe and almost a yellow brown overrobe. But I think following the colors of the comic strip, he will come out pretty good. Definitely a work in progress right there. And I hope it is Tim Kask, because I love Tim Kask as a person. All right, 2 characters next up. It's going to be Charlie and Fred. There we go. Now, Charlie's on the left. Fred is on the right. These two, again, curious thing with the comic strip. There's a few panels where it's very evident that they have a green and red surcoats and they have a blue robe. But the weird thing is Charlie doesn't have a cloak in the comic strip, like at all. Fred does. But the thing with Fred is he doesn't have a mace. That miniature does. So I might be missing some comic strips, or I'm just going to have to wing it. But because these two guys were kind of colored very similarly in the comic strip, I'm just going to roll with that. Green, red, blue cloak. And yeah, go from there, kind of sort of stay true to the actual comic strip itself. And I think that will do the trick. I think they're coming out. Obviously, a little bit of a work in progress on these. Use the same silver and the black wash technique. And I think that came out looking pretty good. I'll probably finish these guys in the next couple of days. The next dude is special. I'm not going to lie to you. He's called Bored Flak, as in I'm bored, and as in flak cannon type of thing. I don't know in the comic strip if he's an alchemist or if he's a wizard. He's got a Tommy gun here. You are not missing anything. And on his back, he's meant to have a bazooka. And this figure didn't come with one. So I'm going to have to either 3D print one or dig around inside some World War II components to get in one. There's this wonderful scene where literally, because he doesn't cast fireballs and things like that. Well, he kind of does with his bazooka. So I've got to get that bazooka on his back, right? I mean, there's not even a choice. Next up, Rupert the Ranger. No, Rupert the Bear. Rupert the Ranger. Just got an undercoat on this of white right now. I'll finish this guy up, I think, in the next couple of days. Another one of the good guys. He's got a little bit of Robin Hood, Men in Tights vibe going on. He's got a lot of personality. I really kind of like him quite a bit. He's going to be fun. And obviously, he's got a lot of brown, greens, a little bit of off yellow, that type of thing. Now, what am I going to do with all of these guys? Well, I'm about to tell you, but I actually forgot the main character. So this is kind of like the main board that I'm going to put it on. But you see what I just put on the screen there? Wait for it. Orcus. Orcus features in the comic strip Fineous Fingers, and I like how this guy is coming out. I don't think this miniature belongs in the miniature range at all, but I am really, really happy that Luke Gygax wants him in the display. I'm actually thinking about putting this guy with like a magical gateway behind him, maybe a ruined castle or underground sort of dungeon type of arrangement. He's pretty much finished painting wise, by the way. So I'm really quite happy with how he's turned out. He's going to go right about here. Gateway behind him, right about there. And then arranging the good guys and the bad guys kind of in an action scene, a little bit like this. I feel, though, that this might be too small. You know, let's get everything else on here and you'll see what I'm sort of talking about. It's like, while there's only a few characters, and we'll get this little guy behind a rock, you know, because there's this famous scene where he was actually shooting over a rock, and I think we need to replicate that. But we haven't even got everything on. And you can see that things start to get crowded. I want this guy with a chessboard, right? Where's he going to go? So while the board is a good size, I think it's a little too small, maybe just by an inch or so. And especially considering that we would probably have a little bit of dead space around it, right? Then there's this guy, but this guy's a thick boy. Look at this. It's wonderful wood. Look at this. It's beautiful, but he might be a bit too big. So I'm considering this. By the way, look at the wood grain. Like, holy crap. But I feel like this might be a touch big. Let me know down in the comments what you think. It's like, I feel like with the wall and the gateway, you know, we get like the characters arranged, give them a little bit more breathing space. I think this could work, but it feels just a tad large, just a tad, you know? And maybe we'll put him there, like get this guy behind a rock over there. It's like, I feel like we could scrunch him in, but I don't want to buy him yet another piece of wood, you know, especially consider on the edges, maybe a 3/4 of an inch in, something like that would be a little bit of dead space, right? A little bit of I don't want edge to edge with the diorama. This could work, but I don't know. Let me know what you think here. You know, that would be kind of like where maybe a diorama edge would end right there. I don't know. You let me know in the comments what you think. Is this too much wood? Oh, that's what she said. But you know what I mean. Okay, so that's what's on my workbench. What's on your workbench? Let me know down in the comments. Painting? Diorama? Got a model going on? Let me know. I'm going to be actually working on this piece. I'm going to be sharing it here on YouTube. I'm going to be sharing, obviously, on my usual social media channels, but also some special behind the scenes videos and pictures on my Patreon. Check out the link below. Thank you, everyone.